Good evening. This is resonating at 5.3 FM Ikejile Ijesha. I am Timileyin Igbalajobi with news nationwide. First, the headlines. Appeal Court nullifies order deregistering Accord Party for other political parties. NBA presidential candidates Akongbe challenges election results of the association. And President Bola Tinubu ordered security forces to hunt down perpetrators of Kaduna attack. Now the news info. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has overturned a Federal High Court judgment that ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to deregister the Accord Party, African Democratic Congress, and 3 other political parties. In a unanimous decision delivered by Justice Abba Mohammed, the appellate court ruled that the lower court lacked jurisdiction to hear the case, describing its judgment as null and void. The court held that the suit was filed by a non-juristic body and that there was no valid basis for ordering the deregistration of the parties. It also faulted the trial court for ignoring evidence that the affected parties had won elective seats and for continually proceeding despite an earlier order to stay the case. The Court of Appeal restored the deregistration of the Accord Party, African Democratic Congress, Action People's Party, Action Alliance, and Zenith Labour Party, declaring that they remain duly registered political parties. It also awarded costs against the National Forum of former legislators, which filed the suits. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has welcomed the Court of Appeal's decision overturning a Federal High Court judgment that sought to deregister the African Democratic Congress (ADC) and other political parties. In a statement issued in Abuja, Atiku said the ruling removes legal obstacles facing the ADC ahead of the 2027 general elections and allows the party to focus on its preparations. He commended the appellate court for upholding constitutional principles and urged that the 2027 elections be decided by the votes of Nigerians rather than through legislation. Atiku also said the judgment, alongside an earlier Federal High Court ruling affirming the Senator David Mark-led National Executive Committee of the ADC, settles all legal disputes over the party's leadership and confirms its eligibility to participate in the 2027 general elections. The Digital Africa Research and Safety Lab, Tigi Africa Lab, has launched a public education campaign to combat misinformation, digital threats, and harmful online content ahead of the August 15 Osun State governorship election. The initiative, tagged Recognize, Avoid, Respond, was unveiled in Osogbo during a policy dialogue organized in a partnership with the Parent Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa. The event brought together officials from Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), security agencies, the National Orientation Agency, traditional and religious leaders, civil society groups, and the media and digital content creators. In the address, INEC President Electoral Commissioner in Osun State, Oluwatoyin Babalola, called for peaceful participation, urging political actors and voters to reject violence, misinformation, vote buying, and voter intimidation. She also encouraged organizations to continue promoting voter education, digital literacy, and responsible use of social media before, during, and after the election. A National Christian Coalition, the Missionaries and Pastors Organization (NPO), has charged President Bola Tinubu to ensure free and fair election in the Osun governorship election. Speaking at a prayer section and courtesy visit by the coalition, the National President, Prophet Emmanuel Stephen of the NPO, called on the president to show direct interest in Osun governorship election, warning that violence and election rigging should never be allowed. Both the national president and the Osun State coordinator also conveyed its unanimous adoption of Governor Adeleke for re-election during the August 15 election. According to the state coordinator, Pastor Moses Oyediran, The decision was taken by all its 30 local government chapters after reviewing the performance of the governor in office in the last 4 or so years. Governor Adeleke, in his response, expressed appreciation to the clerics for their faith and trust in him. Promising not to let them down, the clerics prayed for peace and victory before, during, and after the election. Amid concerns of political violence in Osun State, a chieftain of the Accord Party, Dr. Adewale Aremu Faroye, has described the act as a threat to democracy. Speaking with the Vicinity FM correspondent, Dr. Aremu said democracy should guarantee the protection of lives and promote economic development. He noted that anything that disrupts economic activities or endangers lives undermines democratic values, blaming saboteurs for the security challenges in Osun State.
Adewale Aremu Faroye, PhD, and anything that affects lives, it's a threat to democracy. Democracy is supposed to bring dividends, protection, and security to the people. So anything that affects lives, that it does economic activities, is a threat to democracy.
He, however, commended Governor Ademola Adeleke's administration for what he described as significant infrastructure developments across Osogbo, Ilesha, Ile-Ife, and other parts of the state, adding that the projects are of good quality contrary to claims by opposition figures.
Whether substandard or not substandard, this man had a vision that others in the party did not have it. Look at what Governor Adeleke has gone to do. They are not saying it's substandard. The question you ask them is, when they were in the position to do it, how did they do it? I've passed these roads, and I can tell you that there's nothing like the infrastructures not being substandard. No, it is not. Governor Adeleke has done his very best, and I'm telling you that when we give him a chance to come again for the second time, certainly he will do better. My sincere word of advice for people of Osun State is this: elections come and go, but life will continue. Please don't, because of politicians, put your life at risk.
Ahead of Osun governorship polls, he urged residents of the state not to allow themselves to be used for political violence, stressing that election will come and go while human lives remain invaluable. Students and teachers of Sacred Heart Catholic School today Tuesday paid an educational excursion to Vicinity FM Ikejile, where they were warmly received by the General Manager Akolade Adekola alongside the station's management and staff. During the excursion, the students were exposed to the day-to-day operations of the station. They toured the live broadcast studio and also gained practical knowledge of how news and other programs are planned, produced, and transmitted to the audience. The visit also gave them the opportunity to interact with broadcasters and other media professionals. A teacher from the school, Olugboji Abiodun, described the visit as inspiring and educational, noting that it gave the pupils first-hand knowledge of radio broadcasting and its role in informing, educating, and enlightening the public. He also appreciated the station's management for the warm reception and hospitality.
Olugboji Abiodun Shavi from Sacred Heart Catholic School, Ipetujesha. Today, my visitation is also, honestly, I never expected the kind of hospitality that we got here. The way we were accommodated really encouraged us that yes, we can learn more. And you know that this world is a learning curve. We continue to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So I'm hoping that we'll have another opportunity to come back here because we can't learn everything at a time. Let them keep on learning. Like what they told us recently, that the essence of the media house is to inform and at the same time to entertain. So all this put together will help them to improve their self moving forward.
Speaking on behalf of the students, Odeleye Michael expressed excitement, saying it was his first time visiting a radio station. He revealed his ambition to become a lawyer and human rights activist, while encouraging fellow students to remain focused on their dreams. Anyololu Busayo Daniel said he was thrilled to meet the voices he had listened to on radio and the opportunity to have toured a live broadcast studio. He said he hopes to become a military officer to help combat terrorism and protect lives.
Michael, at Catholic Secondary School, Igbalajobi. I feel very happy because I've not been to a radio station in my lifetime. I'm really happy to be in this place. My words of advice to my fellow colleagues is that they should continue following their dreams and don't give up. Daniel, Sacred Catholic Secondary School, Igbalajobi. I feel very nice today.
A senior advocate of Nigeria and a candidate in the 2026 Nigerian Bar Association presidential election, Lateef Akongbe, has challenged the outcome of the poll in a petition dated July 27. Akongbe asked the NBA National Officers Election Appeal Committee to cancel the July 18 election and order fresh votes. He alleged that the election was affected by technical problems attributed to failure of electronic voting platform, non-receipt of one-time passwords by eligible voters, the use of multiple voting websites, and an extension of voting beyond the announced deadline. Akongbe is challenging the victory of Oyinkansola Badejo Okunsoya, who was declared the winner after polling 12,370 votes. Akongbe scored 7,934 votes, while Olumuyiwa Akimboro received 5,855 votes. He maintained that the election did not comply with the NBA Constitution and the Electoral Committee's guideline for the 2026 National Officers election. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Armed Forces, the Nigerian Police Force, and intelligence agencies to intensify efforts to track down those responsible for the deadly attack on Naridon village in Kamaru Ward, Kauru local government area of Kaduna State. The president's directive follows Monday's attack, which reportedly claimed about 30 lives and destroyed several homes. Describing the incident as a barbaric and cowardly act, President Tinubu vowed that those behind the attack will be brought to justice. He also reaffirmed his administration's commitment to strengthening Nigerian security architecture and dismantling criminal networks. The president urged residents to support security agencies with timely and credible information while extending his condolences to the families of the victims, the Kaduna State government, and the people of the state. He assured affected communities of the federal government support during the period of mourning. To A News Nationwide, a recap of the major stories. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has overturned a federal high court judgment that ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to deregister the Accord Party, African Democratic Congress, and 3 other political parties. We told you that a senior advocate of Nigeria and candidate in the 2026 Nigerian Bar Association presidential election, Lateef Akongbe, has challenged the outcome of the poll. And lastly, you heard President Bola Tinubu has directed security agencies to intensify efforts to track down those responsible for the deadly attack on Naridon village in Kamaru Ward, Kauru local government area of Kaduna State. That was News Nationwide. It was edited by Oluwafunke Israel. I am Timileyin Igbalajobi. Many thanks for listening. Good evening.